Hi everybody, on this beautiful Thursday spring evening, the last day of April, and boy, it sure is beautiful out there, and the grass is green and the flowers are growing, and it's just wonderful time to be quarantined at home or housebound. Anyway, you might see in the background, I'm a little late getting this uploaded tonight. Had got a package of rocks in the mail, 2 boxes actually, and of course I had to stop and do that, and that got me behind. And sitting behind on your screen are a couple of those things, and that was part of the excitement. First of all, I want to show you these little goodies. These are pieces of Larimer. I've been waiting for these to get here. I got a really good buy on them. I got, I think, 6 rocks, something like that, all different sizes of Larimer. And so guess what's going to be coming soon to you guys are some Larimer rocks, Larimer pendants. And I've heard some rumors that there are some of you out there that like Larimer, so you're going to get to have some pendants coming up, and they're going to be very reasonably priced because I got a really good deal on these, but that's the only kind of deal to get. My mom loved to shop and loved to get a good deal, and I think us, my 3 sisters and I all inherited that trait. So anyway, Larimer coming up in the future. And back here is a piece of white buffalo, and which is very hard to get in rock form and very hard to get a good price on it. But I did. I got an auction on this, got a really good price on it. Happened to buy it when everybody else wasn't paying attention, and so that's a good time to buy and good time to get a good price. So anyway, white buffalo is going to be coming up in pendant form, and it's going to be reasonably priced as I try to make everything. So anyway, there are a couple little goodies, and I got more goodies in the mail today, but can't tell you about all of them. It's just not time. So anyway, in the background you'll see the mine map, because I'm going to have some pieces from the mine area, the turquoise mine area. But first of all, come up here is number 227, and that is silver. And I had a bigger piece. I cut it down to make a smaller piece because it was awfully heavy, and I didn't know that would be really as appealing to people as a smaller piece. And besides, when I cut that piece in half, you got to see the silver even better. So anyway, that is silver ore in there, and I love pieces with silver in it. Look at that side too. This is reversible, so you can wear it either way. And matter of fact, I think this is kind of the side I thought might be the right side. Yeah, with that curve there and more silver there. So anyway, that is $16, and that is number 227 with silver bale, of course. The next piece coming up is a little piece of fluorite, multicolored fluorite, and this is number 228. It's $16, and I just thought that was really kind of a pretty little piece. I like to buy, as I've told you before, lots of pieces, smaller pieces, instead of big slabs, so then I can get a nice variety of stuff. And this is in one of those lots, so I got a really good deal on it. Next is something really fun. This, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see the flash. There's a red right there. This is Kyrite Boulder Opal from southwest Queensland, Australia. And if any of you guys have gotten hooked on Outback Opal Hunters like we did, the show now is finished its season, and so it won't be on for a little while, other than if you watch it on the recordings. There you can see some green and some red. On the back side, some red. I got several pieces of Boulder Opal. This is called Kyrite, which is said to be a better piece. It's hard to see this on a camera. I'll tell you, when it's wet, you really see it, but you're not going to wear your pendant wet. But anyway, here's a red flash up there. Opals there's red and green. With red in are said to be better quality. And I've got other piece of boulder coming up, or Kyrite boulder coming up. There'll be different shapes. This is one where you kind of pick which way you want to wear it. But anyway, it's, I heard that Boulder Opal is kind of a messy stone to work with when you're cutting it and shaping it. And I found out why. All that Australian soil that is embedded in this until you get it out, and it's just a gummy mess. It kind of gums up your disc you use for shaping stones. And I found that out really makes the water dirty, makes everything dirty, but it was worth it. It was fun. And then I get these flashes of light, and I thought, oh, this is so cool. I was sitting there watching the flashes of light. You can't see it as well here. There's a red flash there. They seem to be more up at the top. But every once in a while you get a flash out of nowhere. And so anyway, that is Correct Boulder Opal, number 229. And that is $18. I've got a piece of Correct Boulder Opal that has got, I just saw another little flash, has got a big piece of opal embedded in it. And I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. I got that, and I got this piece and another piece at the same time. So, oh, there's that red flash down the bottom there. I see every once in a while, out of nowhere, you see that red flash. See it there? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's for that piece of opal. And next up is a very... This is a piece of malachite. A customer recently told me they like malachite. Well, this is really different. This is number 230. It's $16. And this is from a rock that Bruce and I had here that is a odd-shaped rock, and it has boil trioidal formations on it. And that's those bumpy formations on some stones. I'll show you an example of a couple examples of boiled trioidal. These are from fire agates that I've got. Here's one. Yeah, these will be coming up in different things, but those lumpy formations there, these haven't been cleaned up, so they're kind of boring. But this one is being close to being finished. That's got boiled trioidal on there. I love the things with boiled trioidal. Can you see that flash in there? This is going to be a pendant coming up. That's a beautiful piece of fire agate. Anyway, a couple other pieces of boiled trioidal. You might see things coming because I absolutely love the formation. And I got a whole group of fire agates, so there'll be more coming. These aren't cleaned up or polished or anything yet. So to be determined. Well, this had big pieces, and they were kind of furry. They weren't smooth. So I cut it down, and on the outside here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a crystalline formation up here and here. So I left that in there, and when the light hits it, you can see that there's a crystalline formation right along there and there. So I left that on there to give it that natural look. And then there's some down at the bottom piece here. So I smoothed it all out and took the furry piece off here and made it smooth. This is an interesting shaped stone. You can wear it like this, and you'll notice there is turquoise in there. Turquoise was real soft, so I had to remove it. It was what they call chalk turquoise. But here's some turquoise left in there, so you can wear it like this. And you have one type of pendant, or you can wear it like this with these little crystalline formations in there, and this formation and this smooth piece. So anyway, that is malachite, and that's malachite like you won't see very often. And I'll have to show you next week the rock that this came from. It was really kind of interesting. Number 230, and that's $16. Next rock came from another lot of stones that I bought. And when I got it, I thought, that's cerulean, because it felt like it. It looked like it. But when I started working on it wet, it looked like lapis. But dry, it's not lapis. I'm almost positive it's cerulean, because cerulean has a different feel to it, and it has a distinct color to it. Cerulean stone is where the color term came from for cerulean blue. So anyway, that's a little piece of cerulean, which is a pretty unique and valuable stone. And there it is. Kind of a natural look with some other rock formation in there. It looks kind of almost like a little bit of pyrite or silver. But anyway, that is number 231, and it's $16. We have some different things today. So this is, I bought an ammonite shell. And it was a whole shell. And it looked like this on the outside. Can you see that beautiful flash there? I got a really good deal on it, but it was the whole shell, but it was a smaller size shell. So it was like double this. And Bruce cut it apart. It was a little tricky, but he got it cut apart. And this is half of it. I've got another half that can be made. And here is the back side of the pendant, or one side of the pendant. And that's the inside. Ammonite were like formations where sea creatures lived inside. And then these became petrified. Once in a while, you'll get lucky when you get one of these shells and you cut it, and you'll see pyrite inside. But this one is just regular, the shell or snail type formation. And this is the backside, which is just, I don't know if you can see that opalescent, that look back there. You don't see that on all of them. But this one is just opalized and just beautiful. So you can wear it either way. It's like two completely different pendants, and that's number 232, and it's ammonite, and it's $18. Next up is number 233, and it is a little piece of lepidolite. I've had big pieces, and they're kind of big for a lot of people. Don't want a heavy stone, so I cut a stone and made it smaller. So we have a couple smaller ones. This is $10. Number 233, and it has that distinctive sparkle in there, and that beautiful lilac and pink. And this is what I figure is the backside. It's got sparkling. You can wear it either way, just sparkle there. And this has got the beveling on the front side and polish. So, okay, next is an interesting creature. This is black Anamuka opal. And Anamuka opals come from Anamuka, Australia. They are, I believe it's in Western Australia. And Anamuka opal was the opal that was given to Queen Elizabeth, I think in the 50s when they first discovered it. Back when England, I think, still owned Australia. And this normally comes colored, is milky colored naturally with the sparkle in it. But people have discovered that you can take sugar and something else and mix it together and soak the opal in this, and then you can get the black color in it. And you can see all kinds, a lot of purpley flash in this, and there's some red up here. There's some green at the top. On the back side is just plain flat side, but you can still see flash in it. But the front side has more flash, and it is a rounded bevel, or more like a traditional cab, an odd shape one. I like to do things in different shapes, so you can see the flash in that. And this is, I've got more of this Anamuka, black Anamuka opal, and I'll be making more pendants, but this one is $22, and it's number 234. And this is thicker than what probably the other will be, so it's got like a higher dome on it, a more rounded, kind of rounded triangular dome. So anyway, I was afraid if I cut it down too much, I'd lose the flash, but it doesn't work like that. That flash is all over in the opal, but this one's got a lot of purple. So anyway, that is the other opal for tonight. I had another little kind that's called a bubble opal from Utah, but I managed to break both of them when I cut them little. So we're going to have to find out how to work with those. They're kind of tricky. They're the stone with personality that you'd like to strangle it. Anyway, it's beautiful stuff, but it's just weird. This is another piece of lepidolite, and I keep thinking that's a baby formula, but it's a rock with a similar name. This is $235, and it's $14. And this has got just a little rounded bevel on it. This is bigger than the other one. The other one was sat triangularly. So anyway, and again with the sparkles more on the back side. Well, that one doesn't have as much sparkle, but it's got sparkle in it, and the lilac and pinks. Next is another stone that I got in a lot, and it is such a pretty stone. I wish I had more of it. I maybe will get some eventually, but I've got so many rocks now, I really don't need to buy a whole lot more. This is number 236. It's blue lace agate. It's $16. And this is just a really pretty little stone. I love that. It's very springy. You can actually wear it all year round, but just looks very springy. And next, the Hessamite garnet piece that I had last week sold. So I made another one up. These are Hessamite garnets. This one sits at a different angle. Bruce says it looks like the state of Nebraska hung by the corner. But anyway, you can see the Hessamite garnets in there. And then these little, I don't know if you can see that, but all these little formations in here are little tiny garnets. We're in the process of growing. And then I think there's also some marcasite in there. But you can see all these little groupings down here and then some bigger ones on top. So this is a little bit different shape. And it's backed so that it keeps that from crumbling. But the front side's very solid. So anyways, $237. That's $18. Next, I have a little baby Hessamite garnet pendant. But it might be a baby, but it has a huge garnet on it. Look how huge that is. That is one big garnet there with a bunch of little ones around. So this one is really, really unique. That way for such a big garnet compared to the rest of them. That was huge. And that's $16, and that's number 238. All right, let's go to the next tray. All righty, let's see if I get 238, 239. Okay, this is something really unusual. It's called Gila, Gila, permafrost and agate. And it is from Gila, Arizona. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And which is in southwest Arizona, if I remember right. And I lived there years ago. I remember them talking about it. But this is called permafrost. You can see this. It looks like frost. And I laugh when I hear that term because I think of the gold mining shows on Gold Rush. They talk about the permafrost and Alaska being such a problem dealing with. And so here is an agate named in its honor. And I don't know if it's named for that just because it looks like it, or if because it really has anything to do with permafrost. But I've got more of these, so we'll have more coming up, different shapes. But this one's number 239, and it's $16. And it's Gila permafrost. The next one is really beautiful stone and very, very smooth. This one is called Biggs Agate. Biggs Jasper. And it's number 240. And it is just, I hope you can see this. It's very smooth and soft. And it has a beautiful design to it, curved design to it. You can see both sides of it are equally pretty. It's hard to decide which way you'd want to wear it. The Biggs Jasper looks a lot like Deschutes Jasper. And so a lot of times people get them confused. But the difference is that my understanding is the Biggs has more of this white formation in it, or creamy colored formation. So just really beautiful lines and very smooth rock. Next is quite the stone. It's called Salamaline, and it's PS, starts with PS. It's number 241. It's $20. This is a very interesting rock, and it is just very interesting formation to it. And then my rock had all these big druzy pocket in it. So I cut several different stones, so each one has a part of that druzy pocket. And it's just like a little cave in there, a little druzy cave inside. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just like a little cave in there. So I had to take my little toothbrush and go in there and clean it. And then when you cut and when you shape the stone, it's just black everywhere. Pieces of fine black rock everywhere. So I had to go in here and clean several times, but you can see it's beautiful formation to it. And you know, lots of times black rocks aren't too exciting, but this one has a lot of personality to it on both sides. So you can see that on that side. It's just a very different personality. So anyway, it's like one of those where no two stones look alike. Next is Laguna Lace Agate. It's number 242, and it's $18. And this is different on each side. This is the side I like the best because I like this curve here. And I just think it's a very smooth, soft stone. And even though it's bigger, it isn't quite as heavy as you'd think. It's not terribly thick, but it's just, I don't know, it just looks bigger than and heavier than it is. This is another little area here. I thought it's kind of cool, but I love the way it follows the scallops in here. In agates, they call these little things like this orbs. Yeah, or in a lot of rocks, they call these little orbs. So it's got several different orbs in it. So they're like little eyes. And then here's like an inside druzy formation there. Just interesting rocks, but I like this little orb type formations and little scallops. So pretty pendant. And this pendant measures the stone part measures about 2 1/4 wide or long by about at the most 1 1/4. So that's not so bad. It's not for somebody that likes a little tiny pendant, but it's a nice size one. Next is something really different, and I have my mind map out here so I can show you. This is called Lander Recon. In the Lander turquoise is quite valuable turquoise. And a lot of, sometimes when a rock is valuable, they don't want to waste any of it. But when you cut a rock, you have little chips and pieces all over the place. And so you end up with a lot of wasted rock. I've got dishes, bowls full of pieces of rock that you kind of hate to throw out. You want to do something with. So they found a way to do something with those rocks. So some of them are interesting rocks. What they do is they take the rock and they crush it or make it into smaller pieces, the side pieces, and then they put it together with a compound and then make like a loaf. So you buy like a loaf of Lander Blue. And so I bought a loaf of Lander Blue, and we've been cutting it, and you can see the loaf was that size there. And then it was a loaf like that, so we've been cutting into pieces. But it's very, very pretty, very smooth. It's kind of a little bit of a bugger to work with because it kind of, you get a little drag on your polishing blades, but because of the way that it's made. But anyway, it's the same chemicals or same components in Lander Blue Turquoise. Like I said, which is rare and kind of hard to find, but it's just put together, ground up and put together. But anyway, this is really, I thought, pretty. So here's a pendant, and it's number 243, and it's $16. One thing is very reasonably priced to wear Lander Blue. And here's earrings. These are just a little bit smaller. Oh, there's a little bit tangled up there. A little bit smaller than the pendant. I'm not sure how that happened. It must have been one end of the slab was a little bit different. But anyway, these are not real lightweight. These are a little heavier pendants, or a little bit bigger pendants, but perfectly wearable unless you don't like bigger pendants. So anyway, there is the matching earrings. That's number 244, and it's $20. if somebody wants some of the earrings like this, but they want them smaller, I can cut them half size. I can cut down some of it because I have more slab left, and I can make it half size. And then the last stone we're going to talk about is the hardest. I had two of the hardest to spell stones today in the show. And the first one's salamaline, and I lost the tag and had to reprint the tag and remember how to spell it. It's quite the challenge. Well, this is the same way. I had trouble finding the name of it. It's Uttrium, Yttrium fluorite. And that is because it's different than normal fluorite. We have the other little fluorite pendant that fluorite typically has a variety of colors, and you can see a little bit through it. Well, this is a soft piece, and it's very soft feeling. It's a very soft look, and it's not something that you can see through it. You feel like you can, but you can't. But anyway, it's a very soft lavender and very beautiful stone. And this is number 245, and it's $18. That's yttrium fluorite. And here are some earrings to match. These, I thought these stones weren't that big till I put them on the earring, and they are a little bit on the larger size. They're not for somebody that likes little tiny earrings. But if you like a little bit bigger earring, this is really pretty, very soft, very pretty, and it's a beautiful color. And I have more of this if somebody wants just plain pendants. So I've got more pieces that I can make into pendants. So, and we've got them already cut. So anyway, that's number 246, and that is $20. So that's the show for tonight. Stay tuned down the road, because we're going to be bringing you some Larimer from the Dominican Republic. This is if you're not familiar with Larimer, this is the stone that people get when they go on cruises and they spend way too much money for it. It is only found in the Dominican Republic. The family that discovered it owns the mine and has total rights to it, and so they keep the prices where they want them to be. It's named Larimer because the man that owned the mine or discovered the mine and owns it. I don't know if he's still alive yet or not, but I think his family owns it. He had a daughter named Larissa and one named Larissa and Marissa or something like that. So he combined their two names and called it Larimer. So anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful stone. We've had other pieces that have come from jewelry stores that went out of business. They were vintage to antique, but made up. But it's the first time we've had the rock to make. I had beads that I've made into bracelets, and I've got some bracelets available now, but I've never had the rough rock where we could cut it, because this is the way for us to make Larimer available and keep it cheap. And the man that discovered the mine always said that it reminded him of the sea and the sky, because it was blue and white. So anyway, sometimes it has red rock through it. I don't know what other people think, but I don't like it with the red rock. I think that kind of diminishes from the value. So typically you cut the brown away and just use the colored part. So anyway, these are only 2 of 6 of them, I believe, that I have. I just got them today. I was very excited. So stay tuned for more of that, and stay tuned for Wild Horse Stone. I know I've had people that wanted it. Seems like it sells as fast as I get beads or anything, but this is the first time I've just plain had the rock. So I'm really excited about that. And this comes from Nevada, and it's a mine. The only people that have the mining rights to it is only found in the mines owned by the Addison family, and they're the people that did one season of Turquoise Fever. It was on the Inspiration Network, and they have people come from all over the world to buy this from them because it's so valuable. So anyway, I got a nice piece, and we're going to be making this into several pendants, and you'll be seeing more of it. So thank you so much. Have a good week. Stay safe. Stay well. Here is information ahead of you on how to reach us if you would like something, and or if you want something that you haven't seen yet. Just let us know, and we'll see if we can find it. So Thank you so much, and see you next Thursday night. Bye-bye.